coin toss is fair. Heads and tails are equally likely. And 50% always beats 48%. It's that simple. So, next time you see a guru making predictions, simply ignore him or her. She just wants to get some media attention and sell some more books or events. You know what? That might not be a bad idea. If it worked for others, it might work for me, too. So let's do it. Drumroll please. I will predict the price of, let's say oil, for the next 5 years. Now, this is very demanding challenge. Let me look into my mystic crystal ball that I always keep in my closet. Yes, I see it. I can see more than one path that the future can carve. Make sure to take some notes. The first scenario that I can see is the price going up. Yes, that's it. There you have the first scenario. Now, the second scenario. This one is a little fuzzy, but yes, now it's getting clearer. In the second scenario, the price will go down. Oh my god, did you expect that? I certainly didn't. What a surprise. And now there is a third scenario. This one is less likely, but still I can see it in the future. So the third scenario is that the price will stay the same. But wait, something else is going on in my crystal ball now. I can also see another scenario. There is a big spaceship, and it's firing a huge laser beam directly towards Earth. Looks like the aliens want to make their new hyperspace bypass, and Earth is in their way. In that case, we won't care what the price of oil will be. Let me summarize. The fourth dark force of investing is the fortune-telling investing gurus, who give us a false sense of security about where to invest our money. We may think that they have predictive powers, but sadly they don't. Let me end this segment with a warning. Even after all the proof that the predicting abilities of gurus and other domestic or wild animals are zero, I still get a lot of emails asking me what will happen to the price of stocks, gold, some cryptocurrencies and other assets in the next year. And I bet that after this book is published, I will still receive emails like this one. 20. Robert, I read your book and I really liked the segment about the predicting abilities of gurus. I know that gurus cannot predict what will happen, but still, can you tell me what you think will happen to the price of, insert your favorite asset here, in the next year? Some people just don't get it. The only two things that are certain in this world are death and taxes. Dark force number 5. Using the wrong ROI calculation. This next one is a super important one. I have seen many lives ruined because people didn't know about it. And on top of it all, hardly anybody even talks about it in the investing world. You are probably familiar with the term return on investment. ROI. ROI is probably the most important metric in the investing world. In simple terms, ROI measures how much money was made on the investment as a percentage of the purchase price. For example, let's say that you invested $1,000 in the shares of ABC Company. After a while, the price of the stock went up and you were able to sell the shares for $1,150. What was your ROI in that case? To calculate ROI, the return of your investment needs to be divided by your initial investment. After that you just multiply the result by 100 to get a percentage. So in this case $150 divided by $1,000 equals 0.15. And multiplied by 100 equals 15. Your ROI, in this case, is 15%. Simple and easy. No secrets there. Every investing book and website will tell you that. But what if I told you that the ROI calculation is wrong and misleading? You might think that I've gone nuts. 21. But give me a moment to explain what I mean. At one of the seminars I attended at the start of my investing career, one of the speakers was selling a stock trading course. His claims about the ROI we would get with his trading system were bold, but he made it look so easy, so I started to believe him. And even though he charged almost $2,500 for the ticket, I bought it. Now, I won't tell you the embarrassing part of this story, where I lost a lot of money and almost had a nervous breakdown as a result of attending the course. To save myself the embarrassment, I will use an average Joe as an example. When the average Joe attends this kind of course, the first thing he finds out is that you need to have special software in order to use the strategies covered in the course. Okay, that's $450 per month. But who cares about that? Isn't financial freedom worth $450 per month? Now, the second thing Joe notices is that you need to analyze a lot of stocks with the software every day. So he ends up sitting in front of the computer screen for 2 hours a day, watching boring charts. But as you know, Joe's goal is financial freedom, and isn't Joe's financial freedom worth a couple of hours per day? After a couple of years of learning and trying, Joe is an experienced trader, And even though he lost some money in the first 2 years, he has finally become profitable in the third year. He started the year with $20,000 in his account and now he has $24,000. That's 20% ROI and he is ecstatic. He jumps around the house. He tells all his friends about his achievements. Life couldn't be better. But think again. Don't you have a strange feeling that we forgot about something when doing the ROI calculation? Of course. You guessed it. There is his initial investment in the course and there is the monthly cost of the software. You are right. But I think there is another cost that we didn't account for, and it is much greater than the other two. It's Joe's time. And there you have it. ROI calculation is misleading and incomplete if you don't account for the time you spend making and managing your investments. If you spend 10 hours per week for investing, it is a cost. And from my experience, almost nobody accounts for that when they are calculating their ROI. So what does the real ROI calculation look like? 22. And that makes investing a totally different ball game. All of a sudden, you realize that if you spend a lot of time investing, your real ROI is much lower than you thought. But to calculate the real ROI, we need to know what the value of Joe's time is. You can calculate the value of your time by dividing your personal income by the number of hours worked per year. When you calculate this, you get the value of 1 hour of your time. Try it out for yourself. Let's say that Joe's annual personal income is $50,000. And let's assume that Joe works 1,800 hours per year, US average according to OEDC, v. If we divide $50,000 by 1,800 hours, we get the value of 1 hour of Joe's time. In this case it's approximately $28 per hour. If Joe spends 2 hours per day on investing, 200 days per year, that means that he spends 400 hours per year investing. Let's multiply that by the value of his time, $28 per hour, and we get $11,200. That is the value of the time Joe spent investing in 1 year. Now, let's put that into the real ROI equation. First we need to deduct the value of the time Joe spent on investing from his return, 23. And now we can finalize the equation by dividing that negative number by $20,000. That means that the real return is minus 36%. Joe thought that he made a nice 20% return on investment, but, in reality, he lost 36%. In the time Joe spent on investing, he could have made money working part-time or setting up a new business. Even flipping hamburgers at McDonald's would have brought in more money than what he did investing. The fifth dark force of investing is using the wrong ROI calculation. When you account for the time you need to make and manage your investments, your returns often turn negative. That is why not accounting for the cost of time is one of the biggest mistakes I see in the investing world. Dark force number 6. The lure of the shiny next big thing. If you had purchased $100 of Bitcoins in 2011, you would have more than $200,000 today. 24. If you had purchased $1,000 worth of Apple stock in 2003, they would be worth $1 million today. If you had. I hear these kinds of claims all the time. In the media, at seminars, in books and on social media. The most disturbing fact is that there are some really smart people, who should know better, making them. Now, you can't argue against these claims. They are all 100% true. The problem with them is that they are misleading and are responsible for many ruined financial lives. The goal of making this kind of claim is to convince people that you know what the next big thing is. So a part of the sales presentation where they ask you to invest in a new cryptocurrency or any other opportunity, will go like this. If you had purchased $100 of Bitcoins in 2011, you would have more than $200,000 now. Our new magic returns cryptocurrency is next. A small investment of $1,000 could be worth $50,000 in a couple of years. And, if you invest $5,000, you could pay off your entire mortgage. Think about it. When somebody is making a claim like that, isn't he or she using just a bit of cherry picking? Ask yourself, how many companies in distress, like Apple, were there in 2003, but didn't make it big, or worse yet, failed in the end? And how many other cryptocurrencies were there, apart from Bitcoin, that just disappeared? The answer is hundreds or even thousands, and they all looked the same. So, the probability of choosing the right one was insignificant, much less than 1%. When people hear this kind of claim, they often fall prey to the logic error called survivorship bias. In the investing world, this is the tendency for failed companies to be excluded from performance studies due to the fact that they no longer exist. In other words, you focus only on survivors and you ignore all the failed companies. That is why survivorship bias can lead to overly optimistic beliefs. 25. When somebody is making claims like, if you had purchased, he or she is intentionally misleading people into believing that they can pick the next big winner. In other words, it's a dirty sales technique. Fortunately, you are now immune to this error, because you have read this chapter. Unfortunately, many people have fallen for it. Investors who read and hear these kinds of claims all the time can get a feeling that it's normal, and quite probable, to get very high returns on their investments. That is, try to invest in all kinds of legal and illegal investment opportunities where the seller is claiming that very high returns are possible and even highly probable. And, in most cases, they lose their money. So the sixth dark force of investing is the lure of the shiny next big thing. People often fall prey to survivorship bias and start underestimating the risks involved with any opportunity that offers high potential rewards. They try to catch the next big thing and they lose their money in the end. If I summarize, before you invest your next dime, pay attention to the 6 dark forces of investing. They are out there, trying to get you. So, run away as fast as you can when you spot 126. Exhibit 2.7 The 6 Dark Forces of Investing. Now that you are familiar with the 6 dark forces of investing that prevent you from getting good returns, or even make you lose investing, you are probably asking yourself how to invest successfully. In the next chapters I will show you exactly how to do it. We will start with the part where most people make the wrong turn right at the beginning of their investing career, and, when they make that mistake, their dreams about financial success in life are basically over. Right away. 27. The next step. Join me on a free webinar. Can 2020 recession be your biggest investment opportunity? The novel virus is bad news for the economy and for the stock market. Dow Jones fell sharply. Fed lowered interest rates to zero, with almost no effect, and a 2020 recession is now a certainty. But did you know that the greatest fortunes can be made in times just like this? In fact, the best opportunities present themselves to people who can think and act while others are panicking. There is an old quote, saying by when there's blood in the streets to the power of, and in the next weeks and months there will be a lot of to the power of on the streets. That is why I prepared a webinar where I will give you some key guidelines on how to grab perhaps the biggest investment opportunity of our lifetime. In this webinar I will cover what is happening with stocks, gold and other assets right now, and my 2 scenarios of what will happen by the end of this year, how long can we expect this crisis to last? Can this crisis be the best investment opportunity in decades? What are the best financial products to buy in times like this? 7 keys to successful investing in turbulent times. Click here and register right now. 28. Notes. IUS. Bureau of Economic Analysis BA. https://www.bia.gov. 5,300 Wells Fargo employees fired over 2 million phony accounts to the power of money.cnn.com. September 9, 2016. http://money.cnn.com. September 8, 2016. Investing Wells Fargo created phony accounts. Bank fees. 5 years ago Bernie Madoff was sentenced to 150 years in prison. Here's how his scheme worked to the power of BusinessInsider.com. July 1, 2014. http://www.businessinsider.com/how-Bernie-Madoff's-Ponzi scheme worked. 2014-7 Paulson event-driven fund said to end last year down 36%. Bloomberg.com. January 11, 2015. https://www.bloomberg.com/news/articles/01/2015/end-last-year-down 36. You can get the complete methodology and results of the study at http://www.czoadvisory.com/curious/v. Average annual hours actually worked per worker to the power of statsoak.org. https://statsoak.org. Index ASPX data set code equals ANHRS 29. Good.